Oystercatchers, a coastline bird found throughout almost every coastline in the UK. Now the University of Stirling is lucky enough to have its own dedicated art piece. Created by Helen Denerley in 2007, which is held in the courtyard in Pathfoot, is made up of 3 birds, nestled in separate places surrounded by rocks, greenery and shrubbery, which almost mimic their real-life habitat. When we walked into the courtyard, we firstly noticed the bird on the top of the wooden planks. Despite the hustle and bustle of people going to class and getting their coffee, the courtyard was surprisingly quiet. The only sounds you could hear were the ones from nature.
The birds were created using recycled scraps and found metals, which can also represent their connection to nature. Their positioning around the courtyard also mirrors their natural state. They're placed in 3 separate areas, like they're spread around the country at all different coastlines. It appears that old knives and scissor blades were used to create the feathered effect for the bird's back, which created texture to an otherwise smooth material. The birds were specifically placed in this courtyard area of Pathfoot to pay homage to the pair of oystercatchers that had been nesting in this area in the construction phase, which led to delaying the process of the garden.
For me, the pieces are my favourite in the collection, something that is easily understood by all, no matter your art or sculpture knowledge. Yes, of course it will display different emotions for everyone because art is subjective, but we live in a place where seabirds are all around us, and diversity of the UK wildlife is prevalent, especially in our naturistic campus that we have here in Stirling. For me, the birds are childlike. They made me feel like I was in a playful garden, just like when I was growing up and going outside. I really like these pieces, and I'm glad we stumbled across them to talk about them in this podcast.
I particularly like the way the garden has grown around the sculpture pieces. It incorporates them, making them look like they're in their natural habitat, like they'd actually be in the wild. The different colour metal also makes them more eye-catching when hidden within the plants and the rocks of the garden. I also liked how their positioning can walk you around the garden. When we went to see them, we saw one which led us to the other, which then made us spot the other, and so on.
I'm so glad that we both got to see the birds and experience the sculpture together.
It's also nice to see that the Oystercatchers are a well-loved and admired art piece within the sculpture exhibits, and we hope you've learned something with us today.